Grades are on. Yes, welcome back to a tier list. After a while of playing, I've been playing for a bit, ever since the game released. And I got a clear idea of what Pokemons are good, what Pokemons aren't good. And I'll give my detailed thoughts on this one for every Pokemon. We're gonna start off with, like, S tier, okay? So in S tier, for the first, we actually have Cartrum. Cartrum is still really good. If you ignore the fact that early on he ain't that strong, like Gabite isn't that good, but once you reach his second, which is Gibite, Gibble is trash, Gibite is good. He gets going. Give him a support, and he's an unstoppable beast in the late game. Next, we have Charizard. I honestly think Charizard is busted in the release. It's crazy to think that my assumption on the Japanese were right first, and second, I'm pretty sure they buffed him again after that, which is kind of baffling. Blastoise and Gardevoir still aren't in the game, and we still have Clefable unconfirmed. Alright, now that is out of the way, Greninja is S tier as well. Greninja is busted, honestly. Froakie's bad, but once you reach his second stage, he can massively impact the game. And Greninja is just that good. Like, Greninja is fucking good. I was even surprised to see Greninja jump so fast. We have Slowbro and S tier as well. That bitch is hard. And if you go for a really tanky build, it doesn't die. Slowbro doesn't die. And the damage Slowpoke outputs early game is mind-blowing to me. It's insane how massive the damage is. I was really baffled. And of course, Zeraora is the fucking OP. I mean, I've been abusing Zeraora, honestly. And he's just that good. Shield, heal, massive damage, a lot of movement speed. His Unite is really good to set up a team fight. What more do you want? Zeraora is just that good now. And I think that's going to be it for the S tier. Yes, Pikachu's not in S tier. I know. Pikachu is in A tier now. Although I think they buffed his range, they lowered his Unite damage, and his overall damage has been shifted around, and I don't think Pikachu is as OP as he was. Although being still very strong, I still want Pikachu nerf. And Alolan Ninetale joins Pikachu in A tier. I didn't expect Alolan Ninetale to make the jump, but with the few adjustments she got, that Pokemon can pack a punch, and the CC it provides is insane. It's honestly, it blows my mind. But I'm glad as well, because that means more Pokemons are viable, and they all can kind of be played, to be honest. And then next we have Absol in A tier. Absol benefited a lot from buff. That's clear. It's clear that Absol got a bit of buff and a bit of love. But I don't think I'd put Absol in S tier. I think it belongs in A tier. Next, we're gonna put Snorlax. I was really tempted to put Snorlax in S tier. Snorlax is really bullshit right now. The overhaul buffed his health pool and his damage output to the point where I was playing Zeraora and I almost got destroyed by a Snorlax. The damage this fat fuck outputs is insane. I just had to put it out of my system right now. I really hate Snorlax right now. I think it's an overpowered bitch. And then Wigglytuff in A tier. Wigglytuff got it. Probably because the first release of it was way the fuck overpowered. But I still think it's one of the best support. It's really good. And if you want to play support, I think picking up Wigglytuff is a really solid choice. Cinderace is in A tier as well. It made the jump, guys. Cinderace is in A tier now. Cinderace is really good. Cinderace got... It's clear that cooldown were reduced a bit. His damage was halved a bit. Because I remember playing against Cinderace in the Japanese beta and in the first beta. And I could literally ignore that Pokemon for an entire fight. But now, if I'm not... Like, if I don't keep in mind that this Pokemon can output damage constantly with autos attack and spell, I pretty much shit myself because I die. That Pokemon is really strong. What we have in A tier as well. Okay, Talonflame goes in A tier. Okay, it might be a bit controversial. Yes, Talonflame still is a really good Pokemon. The damage it can output is really strong. But when you compare Talonflame to Zeraora and Absol, Talonflame pretty much gets outclassed by these two. It's like, it's in the same fashion as, yes, you can pick Machamp, but why when Garchomp is open? Why when Charizard is open? You know what I mean? Although, it's not the same exactly, but still it's pretty much that. Lucario in A tier as well. Lucario is getting really good, honestly. The self-shield it gets is really good. And if you land your ultimate, you can pretty much turn an entire teamfight around. It's honestly insane. It's insane how good Lucario got. And then we have Cramorant. Cramorant. Cramorant is a really annoying Pokemon to lane against. Because it's either going to be a really fucking good player that shits on you the entire lane, or you pretty much shit on him the entire game and he pretty much does nothing. But that moment when you get against a good player, a good Cramorant player, it's such a tilter, honestly. My god. And I think it's going to be it for the A tier. Yes, the A tier is loaded. But it's a good thing, though. It's a really good thing. That means a lot more Pokemons are viable. They're all kind of playable. Okay. In B tier, we have Gengar. I used to put him in B, because I didn't think he was OP. He got some adjustment, though. He got a lot more mobility and damage, but I don't think it's enough when you look at the fact that his early damage is really low. Meaning Gengar cannot compete with the clear speed of Absol, Zeraora, and Talonflame. So he's kind of stuck either going top, and if he gets a defender, he can roll the lane. But if he goes in the jungle, he can pretty much get outpaced by the other. And I think the best strat if you go jungle, it's one camp into Corphish into a lane gank. And I think if you fail your first lane gank, it's pretty much going to be a nightmare for you. I still think Gengar is really fun to play. I mean, I fucking play Gengar, and I still love him. But yeah, he got a bit weaker. Maybe not weaker, but the changes he got are not enough to push him back in A tier. Eldegoss is a B tier character. Eldegoss got it again. And honestly, I can ignore that Pokemon for an entire fight and still win. But sometimes, there's that fraction of time where Eldegoss is a really important Pokemon to focus. That if you don't focus, it's gonna end bad. And I tell you that it is gonna end bad if you don't focus that Pokemon sometimes. Venusaur goes in B tier. Why did I put him in A? I played him. I tried to play him. And I cannot bring him to work as well as these four and Greninja. And honestly, well, yes, it is good. Venusaur can pack a punch. But I don't understand the way they're thinking about his kit. Because if you look at it from his first spell, he clearly is like an artillery Pokemon. Like an artillery type of attacker. Meaning he would like to stand from afar and just shoot stuff. And you can see, but with his auto attack and his CC, and his second spell with Petal Dance and Giga Drain, you pretty much have like a Battle Mage type of Pokemon. And I think the two doesn't correlate well. It doesn't flow good enough. And I don't know, it's just my take. Crossold. Jeez, I forgot about him. I will put him in B. Crossold. I lined them up without thinking about it. Crossold is okay. He got better. He is way more tanky. But he's so underplayed that's really hard to make an opinion. Because when I played with one, yeah, it was honestly I was surprised at how good it is. But when I play against some, they get fucked so hard that you're kind of stuck in the middle. Like, is he good or is he bad? So I'll go in the middle and put him in B. With maybe when his items are set in stone and an optimal build is fine, he can shine. I'm pretty sure he's gonna shine. But you okay? Sorry. But right now, he don't shine. Okay. Mr. Mime is an odd one. I honestly think Mr. Mime got better. And I want to believe that. I want to put him in A to say he's viable, but one, he's underplayed. Two, when he's played, he's barely noticeable. Unless you get some really good barriers and something. I don't know. I don't see him exist right now in a meta. Probably like an off-brand character. You'll see someone use it as their pocket pick once in a while to manipulate certain matchup. Because I know if you're really... I know Mr. Mime is good against like Lucario and Charizard. Because it's always pretty much a silence, which fucks them up since they're not 100% auto attack base and they really depends on their spell. But unless like there's this category of, I don't see him being good. And I don't know what I think about Machamp. But he actually got better. Machamp actually got better. I played him and he didn't feel as terrible as before. Machamp still feel awful to play. I honestly think Machamp needs a lot more taught and buff. Machamp actually got better. I don't know what he did, but you can actually do a bit of stuff now with Machamp. And when you reach Machamp, it's not as bad as you can think. It's honestly, I'd be tempted to say it's good. It's decent, but still not good enough. Not good enough for me. Not good enough, and not that enough for D. It means something I put him in B last time because I was like, everyone gets a chance. He deserves a chance. He got that chance and failed miserably. That's my take. Machamp fails as an all-rounder. And honestly, the only thing I saw and felt was your contribution sorely depends on your Unite. Because with other Pokemon, your spell can pretty much win a fight. But Machamp is really single target focused with his spell. Like, his first spell is German Suplex, is what we're gonna call it. Can only take one Pokemon. But I played, okay. I had a team fight with Machamp where we single-handedly won that team fight because I landed a 3-man Unite and pretty much wrecked them so hard that we got 2 goal out of it. We still lost the game though, but it was something. It's an improvement. It really is an improvement, and I think that if they keep moving forward with, I don't know what the fuck they buffed on him, but if they keep moving forward with that kind of buff, I honestly see him moving to B. Maybe potentially to A if he gets what he needs to get. And as well, we have Clefable. We don't know where the fuck, what position she is. We pretty much only have the showcase to go for. And that's if she even makes it in the game, you know. So that's going to be my Unite tier list for now. I'll see when we get a patch. Or when the meta really fucking shit. But right now the meta looks like this. These are the strongest contender. And these are the most viable Pokemon. But don't misunderstand me. Right now, every Pokemon is viable. The game just released. So the meta is not set in stone. That is my thinking, my thought. I honestly think if you want like to climb in rank, stick to S and A. And only pick in the B tier if you have experience with these. These require a lot more experience because they're a lot more harder to maneuver naturally than these two categories. But that is my thinking. Anyway, that is my tier list. Let me know what you think in the comment below. And as always, I love reading your comments. Like the guy last time that commented about the Cramorant placement and it got me thinking. And I thought enough to put Cramorant in A tier. And I still put him in A tier now because I still keep in mind what he said. And I'm like, yeah, but I it's really hard to place a Pokemon based on the player skill. So, but beware of a Cramorant. Cramorant needs a lot to be effective. It's, in my opinion, one of the hardest Pokemon to master in the game. Not play. Jesus Christ. Not play. Master. There's, honestly, that's the most important part. The master part. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed. And I'll see you on the next one. See ya.